Malaysia calls for unity as ASEAN turns 57. Malaysia's efforts to license social media platforms gaining attention. Salam Malaysia Madani, I'm Shuhaida Arifin and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. The structure of the ecosystem higher education and TVET institutions based on new technologies need to be strengthened at a faster pace. This is to produce a skilled workforce aimed at making Malaysia the best investment destination. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim clearly stated that it requires cooperation from all parties to be realised.
The ecosystem, the training, and we have called upon universities, and I'm sure USM here and the UUM and the TVETs and the institutions in Kedah, Penang in particular, must be receptive and undertake the changes at a faster pace. We are pushing this agenda forward, and to push the agenda means all agencies, all departments, all levels of professionalism must undertake this measure. I mean, this need to be emphasized. I believe my colleague, the Minister and the Menteri Besar will share this sentiment with me, that we cannot expect to be regarded as a successful player in this new technology if we continue to work at a normal pace.
The Premier said this during the opening speech at the Kulim 3 building of Infineon Technologies Kulim, Sdn Bhd in Kulim, Kedah. As the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, celebrates its 57th anniversary, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim today emphasised the importance of member nations standing and working together to ensure a peaceful, stable and prosperous region. Reaffirming Malaysia's commitment to regional cooperation, Datuk Seri Anwar said Malaysia is devoted to championing cooperation between countries in various fields. He described the celebration as an important day to remind the regional grouping to stand and work together to ensure a peaceful, stable and prosperous region. He hoped ASEAN continues to focus on strengthening economic partnerships among its member states and forging a better future together. Malaysia, which has held the ASEAN Chairmanship 4 times in 1977, 1997, 2005 and 2015, will assume the chairmanship again next year. Meanwhile, Deputy Foreign Minister Datuk Muhammad Alamin said Malaysia is fully prepared to chair ASEAN 2025 and is expected to lead efforts in strengthening ASEAN beyond 2025. On the preparation for Malaysia to assume the annually rotating ASEAN chair for 2025 from Laos, he said the preparations are going well, while engagements are actively implemented involving all ministries, government agencies, diplomatic missions, international organisations as well as the media.
Persediaan memang berjalan sangat lancar dan insyaAllah pada bulan Oktober nanti kita akan bertukar tangan kepada Malaysia dan sesi libat urus antara member states memang sedang berjalan dan sentiasa berjalan dan mereka tahu bahawa kita sudah bersiap sedia dan mereka juga banyak membantu untuk sama-sama menjayakan ASEAN pada tahun hadapan.
The Deputy Minister also stressed that strengthening the ASEAN community was crucial towards connectivity and resilience of the region. He was met after the 57th ASEAN Day celebration in collaboration with AirAsia today. In 2015, the 10 ASEAN leaders signed a declaration to formally establish an ASEAN community in Kuala Lumpur as a milestone for regional integration. Hence, Malaysia's chairmanship is a special year for ASEAN as it would mark a decade of the formal establishment of the ASEAN community. It's more than just the prestige of the name. Malaysia's ASEAN chair next year will face a number of major challenges, namely geopolitical unpredictability in the region and beyond. However, existing difficulties can be transformed into opportunities for Kuala Lumpur to continue creating prosperity. Watch this special report on ASEAN chairmanship prepared by Aisha Hisham.
The dispute over the South China Sea is among regional issues that has been ongoing for a long time and seems to have no end, poses a risk of becoming a threat. As the chair of ASEAN, Kuala Lumpur can use this position to resolve these disputes. Leveraging upon the good relationships that have already been established with China, talks with Beijing can be carried out to accelerate the process of finalizing the Code of Conduct, COC, for the South China Sea.
Beijing is said to have a great deal of trust in Kuala Lumpur. So in this case, it can indeed be said that Malaysia, as ASEAN's chair, is capable of finalizing the Code of Conduct framework. So, as the chair of ASEAN, Malaysia can serve as a catalyst to guide the other 9 member countries on how to engage with China in various areas and provide direction on how to negotiate with China effectively and efficiently.
Malaysia's vocal advocacy for humanitarian issues in Palestine can also be strengthened through its chairmanship. This can be achieved with the involvement of dialogue partners such as Russia, China, and the United States.
The situation in Palestine, particularly the issue of ceasefire in Gaza, has been significantly impacted by the recent killing of Ismail Haniyeh. As the current chair of ASEAN, Malaysia has the opportunity to raise this critical issue not only within the ASEAN framework, but also to bring it to the attention of the 3 major powers. I'm hopeful that Malaysia will utilize its position to address this matter.
If this very difficult mission indeed succeeds, Malaysia will set a new benchmark by resolving conflicts through diplomacy. Malaysia's vocal stance on global issues, as well as its consistent and unwavering approach to resolving disputes through peaceful and diplomatic negotiations, serve as the best and most exemplary models for effectively leading ASEAN as a unified and cohesive voice in the crucial task of finalizing issues concerning maritime boundaries and human rights in Palestine. Given Malaysia's past experience and strengths in leading ASEAN, it is well positioned to take on this crucial role in the future. Aisha Hisham, RTM.
Malaysia's efforts to license social media platforms have attracted the attentions of several countries that have expressed interest in the following move. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil said the United Kingdom Communications Regulatory Body was among those which contacted the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission MCMC to know more about the implementation of the initiative.
Pihak Singapura juga ada bertanya tentang proses itu. Penting diingatkan, lain negara, lain cara berpandukan undang-undang yang terpakai di negara tersebut. Tapi di peringkat ASEAN, kita sebenarnya pada bulan Mei yang lalu telah mengadakan satu sesi meja bulat, round table, bersama dengan semua badan kawal selia di negara-negara sama ada di ASEAN maupun lebih luas. Dan saya percaya bila kita adakan sesi meja bulat pada tahun depan yang akan di-host oleh MCMC, ramai yang akan ingin mengetahui pencapaian dan juga apa yang telah berjaya kita lakukan berdasarkan proses pelesinan yang akan berkuat kuasa 1 Januari 2025.
Fahmi was met after officiating the Ministry's Sarawak Zone 2023 Excellent Service Award. Earlier in his opening speech, the Minister said Malaysia's move on licence application had opened the eyes of other countries not to allow social media platforms to continue to make a profit and violate the country's laws. Previously, Fahmi expressed that any platform that does not have licence after 1st January 2025 can be taken action in accordance with Section 126 of the relevant Act, based on guidelines built together and in accordance with the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. The government has invested 10.49 billion ringgit in developing rural infrastructure, including roads, electricity, water supply and social amenities in Orang Asli villages and remote areas from 2020 until June this year. Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, who is also Rural and Regional Development Minister, stressed that this substantial investment underscores the government's commitment to prioritising the well-being and upliftment of rural communities.
Pembangunan fizikal seperti infrastruktur dan sebagainya. Yang penting ialah pembangunan minda dan perubahan sikap. Kerana kita tahu pada tahun 2050 nanti bahawa kawasan desa mungkin akan berada sekitar hanya 25%. Kawasan desa akan menjadi kawasan suburban ataupun kawasan pinggir bandar. Begitulah selanjutnya. Namun soal pembangunan, perubahan di kawasan pedesaan ini jangan harus pernah dipinggirkan.
The Deputy Prime Minister added that high-quality infrastructure, including roads, bridges, healthcare facilities, schools and digital connectivity are all fundamental to effective rural development. He said in his opening speech at the National Symposium of Rural Planning and Development 2024 today. Also present was Housing and Local Government Minister Ngah Koming. The Road Transport Department JPJ is replacing the Automated Awareness Safety System or AWAS cameras in phases at the gazetted locations. Its Director General Adi Fadli Ramli said the replacement of the AWAS camera is in line with improvement of the existing AWAS camera system, in line with the latest technological changes that use automated number plate recognition technology to ensure that the camera operates better. In a statement today, JPJ highlighted the replacement involves the red flags model cameras that need to be replaced due to major damage and no support from the principal. The operation of AWAS cameras is also to ensure enforcement involving the offence of driving over the speed limit and failing to comply with traffic lights based on provisions under the Road Transport Act 1987, Act 333, in line with reducing the statistics of accidents and deaths due to road accidents. Therefore, JPJ calls and asks for the cooperation of all road users to take steps to comply with the laws that have been set and be tolerant with other road users for the priority of personal and family safety when on the road. Coming up, a new Infineon fab in Kulim marks significant milestone for Kedah, Malaysia.
Kecemasan boleh saya bantu?
Hello, there's been a motorcycle accident here. Maybe an elephant ran it over.
Sir, there is fire accident at the address number 5 Jalan Tembika Shah Alam.
PGO from FRT Shah Alam, there was no fire accident here. Over.
MERS 999. Use it wisely.
The opening of Infineon Technologies' 200mm silicon carbide SiC power semiconductor fabrication plant marks a significant milestone for Kedah and Malaysia. Prime Minister Dato' Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the new plant will showcase Malaysia globally in attracting investments.
Bukan sahaja satu perasmian industri, tetapi industri teknologi tinggi yang selagi dengan dasar mengurangkan karbon, dasar teknologi hijau dan lebih utama teknologi yang mencecah suatu penerokaan yang menakjubkan dunia. Dan kita tentunya terharu kerana Malaysia dipilih sebagai tuan rumah. Dan oleh itu saya ucap terima kasih kepada MITI, kepada Menteri Besar dekat Dalam Negeri dan Kulim High-Tech kerana kerjasama yang diberikan yang mempercepatkan dan melicenkan proses. Lebih utama penghargaan kepada Infineon Technologies dan rakan-rakan yang bekerja menjayakan projek ini.
The Premier said that Infineon's presence in the country, along with its latest manufacturing plant, represents not only an entry into what is considered a new technology, but also a highly focused on precise industry. He said that Malaysia has been recognized for its ability to adopt outstanding technology, which now caters to front-end processes and demonstrates that Malaysia has moved up the ladder. On another note, Datuk Seri Anwar stated investments in Malaysia continue to rise despite Malaysia's differing stance on the Gaza issue compared to that of European countries. The Prime Minister, who is also the Finance Minister, said the increase in investment includes the electrical and electronics E&E sector, which continues to be a focus for Malaysia.
E&E baik ekspor ke Amerika besar. 26% daripada ekonomi Amerika. It's huge. Sebab itu, walaupun beberapa pendirian kita umpamanya dalam soal Gaza juga keras dan berbeza bertentangan dengan pendirian Amerika, tetapi dari segi pelaporan, dia juga jaga kepentingan dia dan kita juga jaga kepentingan kita.
He added German Chancellor Olaf Scholz provided strong support for German semiconductor giant Infineon Technologies AG to invest significantly in Malaysia despite differing opinions on Gaza. He also mentioned Malaysia is also turning to China, where E&E is growing, and electric vehicles EV show that China can manage costs and efficiency, particularly in battery production. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said this at the Budget 2025 engagement sessions with players in the E&E industry at Silterra Malaysia Sendirian Berhad's Semiconductor Foundry today. AirAsia has increased its domestic and international flight frequencies and now operating 3,281 weekly flights across 10 ASEAN countries to bolster tourism and economic growth in the region. AirAsia Malaysia Managing Director Datuk Captain Fareh Masputra announced the expansion during the 57th ASEAN Day celebration. AirAsia Malaysia will operate 45% of these weekly flights to ASEAN countries, covering 78 routes until the end of 2024. In 2023, AirAsia Group carried over 61 million passengers, with more than 33% travelling within ASEAN. Faris said this year's ASEAN Day theme, Connected and Resilient Community, resonates with AirAsia's mission to connect the 10 ASEAN countries. He said AirAsia will resume its Kuala Lumpur to Dalat, Vietnam route, with 4 weekly flights starting 1st November 2024. At the event, AirAsia moved to sign a collaboration agreement with the ASEAN Tourism Association, solidifying its support through endorsements, member association outreach, and cooperation with ASEAN national tourism organizations for the ASEAN Explorer Pass, AirAsia Move's signature travel subscription product. 6 leading government-linked investment companies GLICs collectively pledged to invest 120 billion ringgit in domestic direct investments DDI over the next 5 years. According to the Finance Ministry, the pledge was made under the first phase of the ministry's Gear Up program, which aims to synergize efforts across government-linked entities to catalyze growth in key economic sectors. The ministry said the pledge amount is on top of the 440 billion ringgit in public market investments under the GLIC's Steady State Investment Program. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, who's also the Finance Minister, said that achieving the ambitious targets of the Madani Economy Framework demands a unified effort from the entire nation, including the corporate sector. He further said that the combined assets under management valued at over 1.8 trillion ringgit, roughly the size of Malaysia's nominal gross domestic product, GLICs have the financial capacity to shape the nation's ascent in the economic value chain and transform Malaysians' lives for the better. The 6 GLICs are Khazanah Nasional Berhad, the Employees Provident Fund, the Retirement Fund Incorporated, Pemodalan Nasional Berhad, Lembaga Tabung Haji and the Armed Forces Fund Board. MOF added that each of these GLICs will have their respective focus areas to lead in the Gear Up program. Tesla has incorporated a reported decision to scrap plans for its production operations in Southeast Asia. Could be the electric car maker's global operation commercial decision. A spokesperson from Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry, or MITI, said this does not reflect the industrial reforms and improved investment landscape that MITI and its agencies have worked on since December 2022. Yesterday, a Thai online news portal quoting an anonymous source in the government reported that Tesla has scrapped plans to set up factories in Malaysia, Thailand and Indonesia. The Nation reported that Tesla is currently only discussing charging stations, with its factory plans suspended not just in Thailand but worldwide. The news portal reported that Tesla is not proceeding in Malaysia, Indonesia or anywhere else except for China, the United States and Germany. Commenting further, the MITI spokesperson emphasized that the report is not an official statement from Tesla, as it was based on comments from an unnamed source. All right, moving on. 600 participants from the public and private sectors attended the APAC Technology Entrepreneurship Empowerment Conference, ATEC 2024. The conference focuses on strengthening the ecosystem in science, technology and innovation to empower tech entrepreneurs in the ASEAN region. Commenting further on the matter, Science, Technology and Innovation or MOSTI Minister Chang Lee Kang stated that cross-border collaboration and strengthening partnerships are essential to create a dynamic ecosystem in the region.
Dalam dunia teknologi memang tak ada sempadan dan kita harap boleh gunakan teknologi untuk menyelesaikan masalah yang kita hadapi, yang bukan saja negara kita hadapi tetapi rantau ini termasuk dunia, seperti food security, keselamatan makanan dan juga climate change, perubahan iklim.
ATEC 2024 is a joint initiative by the Centre for Regional Strategic Studies, the Southeast Asia Research Centre for Humanity and Wellness Group Limited. The gradual strengthening of the ringgit is a positive development for the country's business sector. According to Capital Dynamics Chief Executive Officer Tan Teng Bu, this trend provides businesses and traders with the opportunity to adapt their transactions and strategies effectively.
It may appreciate a little bit more, but I think for the next couple of months, it probably will stabilize, which is good. Because if it appreciates too fast, too much, Malaysian businessmen also will be affected. It stays around the 4.4, 4.5 up to the end of the year. That is the best. That's my prediction.
He is optimistic about the country's economic growth prospects within the Asian region, bolstered by strong trade relations with China. The FBM KLCI benchmark index on Bursa Malaysia is projected to reach 1,600 points by the end of year. Previously, the Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim remarked that it boosts confidence in Malaysia's positive trajectory. However, he cautioned that the country should not become complacent and must continue to enhance its performance. Still ahead, Nobel laureate Yunus to lead Bangladesh. Malaysia has proposed 4 key measures to support the Palestinian cause, including creating a group of eminent persons to evaluate and implement the International Court of Justice's ICJ advisory opinion. During the emergency meeting of the Organisation of Islamic Cooperation (OIC), Malaysia's Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan emphasised these measures to enhance global support for Palestine, leveraging the ICJ's ruling and fostering unity among Palestinian factions through the Beijing Declaration. Firstly, Malaysia called for the reinstatement of the United Nations Special Committee against Apartheid to halt Israel's illegal occupation of Palestinian territories and address the apartheid policies imposed on Palestinians. Secondly, Malaysia proposed that the OIC, alongside like-minded nations, request the reactivation of the 10th Emergency Special Sessions of the United Nations General Assembly UNGA on Palestine. Lastly, Datuk Seri Muhammad urged for unwavering support to rebuild the Palestinian economy and livelihoods post-conflict, which is essential for restoring normalcy. In the light of assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, the former head of Hamas Political Bureau, Malaysia also called for efforts to counter Israeli propaganda and misinformation. Additionally, the OIC urged the UN Security Council UNSC to enforce an immediate ceasefire against Israeli aggression and ensure sustainable humanitarian access throughout the Gaza Strip.
Right now, let's move to Olympic update. National diver Nur Dabita Sabri splashed her way into the women's 3-meter springboard finals at the 2024 Paris Olympic today to remain in contention for medal.
Chen Yi-wen dominated the semi-finals with 360.85 points, followed by Australian Kenny Madison and Chiara Pellicani of Italy.
Ethiopian world record holder Lamesha Girma was taken to hospital after a horrific fall during the Olympic men's 3,000 meters steep leach haze as Sofian El Bakali retained his title to deliver Morocco's first medal of the game.
El Bakali clocked a time of 8 minutes 6.05 seconds as American Kenneth Rooks took silver and Kenya's Abraham Kibiwot claimed bronze. The win was overshadowed by the injury to Girma, who tripped over a barrier on the last lap and fell hard to the track, lying motionless as medical staff rushed to attend to him. His eyes were open and he was wearing a neck brace as staff members carried him off on a stretcher, and a medic told Reuters that he was taken to a hospital. French media reported he was conscious and speaking. The fans at the Stade de France offered a smattering of applause as he was strapped to a stretcher and carried out through a tunnel.
Alright, so that's it from us this evening. In our top story, Malaysia calls for unity as ASEAN turns 57. Malaysia Madani Jiwa Merdeka, I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Thank you for watching.